Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Welcome back to Legend of Stars Finals 2019 coverage, group stage. And it's best of threes between Tagada and Espiranto. Starting on a board. And, well, this is the winner's match of Group B. So at this point, Tagada had taken down Keyser. I got past Keyser in 3 games, I believe, and Espiranto had 2-0'd Eisen. So Tagada would be the favorite coming into this match, but Espiranto gets well, getting past Eisen 2-0 is quite a good performance. So Tagada shouldn't be complacent at all. There's always danger when you're against Espiranto, because he does play so aggressively, let's say. So we have a lab out. Again, that aggression is there. Is it first lab, actually? I think it was first lab. Everyone goes for that Hydro quickly on this map now. They've figured out that that's the way to approach the build. It's definitely the favored way now. Wasn't always, but it makes a lot of sense, really. Suppose you could rush for this one, but it's slightly further away. You could grab some trees on the way, though. Certainly several options for builds on this map. So the lab gets a scout there. So Tagada had a scout ready to see if a lab did come along, and it did. And now Mantis is going left to defend the 2 engineers that are building the Hydro. Tagada slightly faster in the Hydro because he didn't make a lab. Half health on the engineer, but no real danger. So these 2 engineers are going to build an air factory. Meanwhile, Tagada's engineers are expanding. One to the back, one to the side of the map. So that's quite a significant difference. Instead, Tagada's making a factory in his base. An air factory in his base, so Espiranto really needs reclaim to be able to build 2 factories at once here, and he's sort of lacking that mass. Perhaps his builder should have included some of an engineer going in this direction a bit quickly, or more quickly. Because of this lack of mass, his factories are slowing down, as they do. But overall, it seems okay. Any stall is a bad stall, really, in the opening, but could have been worse. Does now have 3 land factories. Well, let's see. This 4th land factory is now finished, and well, we have 4 land factories from Tagada as well, and an air factory. So, oh, he also is running out of mass. This right here is T1 sub, which is actually floating, it seems. Bias, please fix. Oh, that's a T1 sub, and we have a couple of Wagners as well in the water. So that's quite a lot of reclaim. People, I guess now that people are going quickly for the Hydro, they're sort of going way more slowly to the back, which maybe is could be a bad trade-off. Good kill there from Tagada. Killing those air scouts, you can't really overestimate it too much. It's very, very useful to kill those units. Now what's this bomber going to do without any radar? The answer is probably not much. He's searching for units, and oh, he's got an attack order, actually. Oh, into the engineers in the middle of the base. I guess he already had that order. Because he didn't have a scout there, so he probably had a move order to the side and an attack order here. Perhaps using the dead vision of the scout. So when a scout gets killed and it sort of still gives you vision as it travels forward. Dead, which is quite nice. That's a good engineer kill. That engineer was heading to this reclaim here. And the 3-mex expansion, and it's killed at the cost of only 1 mantis. Very nice raid. Bit of a push here, but the Tagada has far more units here. So an initial good trade, and then Espiranto's retreating. That's a pretty nice micro here. He's gonna lose this rogue mantis though. And yeah, quite good to retreat here. Try and get away with as many tanks as possible. But Tagada has his engineer ready, getting the expansion now. Quite a long time before Espiranto on the opposite side. Tagada also has a PD and these 4 mexes here and a factory on the way. Meanwhile, we have a factory here, but we don't have these 2 mexes. We don't have a PD. It's queued up. It's funny how similarly people will play. It's not really necessary to play so similarly, but on so many maps, it ends up in that way. Well, Espiranto doing what he does, and that is all of his mass into factories and T1 units. It's generally his playstyle until we get to, you know, Jesters and Corsairs. He's basically a Cybern only player. Tagada is struggling. Yeah, he's very low power, only 500 power income, but has, as you can see, critically half the map. Half of the map that's his. Still Espiranto lacking this expansion. Tagada pushing now on the right side. Looks like he will have enough units to probably kill this, although PD is going up to defend, and he's going to take control of this area with his ACU. Seems quite logical. What is Espiranto going to do with his ACU in the middle? Looks like he's moving to the right side. Not going to attack the left position. The PD goes up and the walls are going up now as well. Tagada can't get through because he has 0 Medusa. Does he have any on the field at all? I see 1 coming out of the base and 1 here. That might be all. Yep, that is it. We also have a T1, T2 mechs, T2 land coming now. Tagada playing this by the book completely and gaining a decent advantage out of it. Does have to be careful here on the right side. There's actually almost all of Espiranto's units are now moving towards the ACU, or on that side of the map. You can see these are the only units not really you know, within about a 50 unit range of the ACU, and the ACU of Espiranto is also moving to the right, and we have a Jester in the base and another one coming. Can anyone sense what might be about to happen? Well, does Tagada have any idea? He's had a scout here for a long time, and he's still somehow quite far from the water. Only 17 mantis with him. No overcharge. He's building the energy storage as we speak, but he's already getting... Oh, he's run out of units completely. He's getting blocked. There's no way he can get to the water with all these mantis in the way. And drops a wow. Doesn't even get to land 1 overcharge, and it's clearly quite salty. Right, what just happened? And Tagada has lost his ACU and the game. 1-0 to Espiranto in classical Esperanto style. And let's see how this affects Tagada in the upcoming games, because it's not going to have a good effect on his psychology. Open up game number 2. And examine the results. So what is map number 2? It is Bermuda Locket. I'm not sure how Esperanto does on Bermuda Locket. I know Tagada is good at it, has a good build anyway. Because a lot of this map is obviously... A lot of the skill of this map is, you know, gathering the reclaim quickly and effectively. And putting it to use with making sure you balance your economy properly while you're gathering it as quickly as possible. It takes a lot of APM to do that. Okay, we have 8 PGen, second air, and a transport straight away. Straight to the transport with only 8 power generators. Let's see. Let's see. It looks like he will stall. He's also making a PGen while... Yeah, so we'll have a stall. I think if you didn't build these 2 mexes, you could probably get away with 8 PGens for transport. Because you'd save about 700 power by not making the T1 mexes, and could just live off reclaim. Tagada has an air scout already in the base, and he has locked the transport with his Inti. Meanwhile, his own transport is about to leave the base. Tagada with slightly more power. Now expanding. Oh, he's expanding quite quickly to the left. Doesn't always happen. So Espiranto won't be able to get to the second half of his expansion here with this Inti. So he should just drop pretty quickly. Oh, that's good micro. Tagada is not microing. Or he wasn't for a while. So actually Espiranto will manage to get to the expansion, which is quite nice. You should move away. Yeah. Well, he wouldn't have lost any engineers, but they would have taken some damage. The death of a transport does about 100 damage to engineers, so you want to make sure you don't leave the transport hovering over your important engineers if you think the transport's gonna die. So now we see what Tagada can do. We have two factories on the left for Espiranto already. Tagada has sent 3 engineers this way and 2 here. I think it's the exact same on the... Oh, we actually have 4... Oh no, we have 3. I think he just built this engineer. But already Tagada with the score lead, Tagada with the huge mass lead, has 3,400 reclaim to just 2,000 for Espiranto. So already it looks good for Tagada. Like I said, he does have a good build order. Crucially, you can see a huge amount of power being built. So he has like 3 engineers here, 4 engineers building power here. This is the equivalent of 4 engineers we're building here till the ACU started to leave. So that's a lot of power. 7 or 8 engineers building T1 PGens at once just to make use of all the reclaim he's getting. And he'd probably go T2 air quite quickly. If I had to guess, Navy only being built now. He's 2 factories behind in Navy. Tagada is, so Espiranto has some advantage there. Tagada also preparing now his own T1 land in his main base to defend against Espiranto's T1 land, which is coming down this arm now. I will say both players are pretty chilled out in this game. Nobody's making drops. Dropping to the arms is always good. Dropping around after your initial, you know, drop on the right side should be done. But not this time. Both players basically just trying to focus on their economy and make sure they get the reclaim where they have dropped. Maybe they just don't feel they have enough time for that. T1 PGen has stopped. T2 air is on the way, but not very quickly. There's no assistance. T2 land is done, and T2 PGen is coming up. Alright. Meanwhile, for Espiranto, still on T1, T1, T1. And does he have a plan beyond? Beyond T1. Oh my god, 21,000 mass to 34. Holy shit. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that outrageous. 41 to 26. Like, this is crazy. How does he have so little mass in comparison? I mean, I guess I can see here there's virtually nothing reclaimed. Not much reclaimed here. Yeah. Let's see the reclaim numbers. 26, 27 to 12. Yeah, this is a bit of a bad choice for Espiranto to allow this into the pool, I guess. He probably should have banned this. But there's obviously a limit to how much you can ban in the veto stage. Bit of a naval battle. Looks like it will go Tagada's way. Better micro there. So Espiranto started retreating. Tagada got a lot of free damage because Cyber frigates can't shoot backwards. So he was chasing. Esperanto's running away. That means free shots. Somehow the T1 land attack looks like it's getting through somewhat. There's a lot of Medusa. You can see it's mainly Medusa in this mix, honestly, which is a good decision from Espiranto, but he doesn't have enough anti-air now, and he's lost what anti-air he has, so these gunships are going to do huge amounts of free damage potentially. Looks like Tagada will also win air. Seems to have more inties. Yeah, the gunships will kill everything, and T2 Navy will help out as well, although it's pretty much unnecessary here. Seems under control. At the moment, we have gun ACU as well, T2 land units. Okay, Beetles on the left side for Espiranto. Quite a few Beetles, but does he have T2 air? He does, so he's making T2 transport for those Beetles. Over here we have Wagner's raiding, but they're only attacking... Oh, they're trying to attack a Mantis, but they're killing it at T1 factory. And they're actually... Oh yeah, they managed to finish it off at least. More Wagners circling around the back to look for some damage. And actually the T2 transport is being used for the ACU, not the Beetles. I feel like the destroyers should just go against the frigates here. Sending them against the Medusa is not really that useful. We have a T2 support factory here. Quite a few T2 mexes. So Wagner's done decent damage. It's now hiding. Hiding quite successfully. What is this ACU gonna do? And what upgrades does it have? I don't see any in the chat. Oh, Beetles. More Beetles ready to get loaded up. Well, Tagada's now in the water making stealth. Halfway to stealth. He'll have it done probably by the time any of this lands. So he will be very, very difficult to spot. Nigh on impossible, actually. Given the naval situation. 1 Salem out for Esperanto. He's already up against 3 Salems and a T2 sub. And here comes the ACU and the Beatles. What is the plan? He's going to drop very close to the ACU. Oh my god, land. He lands and he has found the ACU, but he only has the gun. He does not have torpedo. The Beatles did nothing whatsoever, and there they go, sinking to the bottom of the ocean, leaving considerable mass. And he calls GG. Well, he found the ACU at least, but this was not a close game by any stretch. Well, quite a different performance there. I think this might show a little bit why map picking is so important, and why players should be able to have some sort of banning and picking stage in tournaments rather than simply being given a map pool by a tournament director, because well, the maps make a huge difference. I think this shows it quite clearly. Now we're going to check the decider match, because Espiranto won the first game, Tagada won game 2, as we saw. So we need a game 3 decider. Here we go. Alright, we're on Arcane. Now this is a better map for Espiranto, that's for sure. Better than Bermuda, I would say. Not necessarily a better map for him than Tagada. This is quite a new map, hasn't been played that much. But from what we saw in the tournament, it's a very aggressive map. So that definitely should suit Espiranto. Tagada has Seraphim here, and he's up against Cybern, of course. Interesting that he goes Sarah. I'm not sure what the reasoning is for going Seraphim. Well, I'm not sure what his reasoning is. I could come up with reasons, but they would be my own. We don't need to ask why Espiranto went Cybern, because he always does. Looks like he has a build worked out somewhat. See here, leaves a little gap for his NGs, and now they can build without moving. They can build everything here without moving, which is good. You should try and do this kind of thing in your opening build order. Engineers walking is a waste of your build power. Similar scenario for Tagada here. These pigeons are in range, so are the factories. Getting some reclaim now to fund his build, which looks like quite a good build. This guy's going to get some reclaim and head to the expansion. Espiranto very quickly leaves with his ACU and actually walks away from 3 mexes. Gonna grab manually about half or more of these rocks here and just go aggressive, try and take out this expansion, deny any units getting there. His first units are sent to the left to defend this expanding engineer. Only 1 though, so we don't have, well, we will have an engineer going to get this reclaimed shortly. All of this has been reclaimed manually, barring a couple of rocks, which is quite a lot of reclaiming. Now a big mass stall, sorry, power stall. That's very bad. Wow. How many air units does he have? Well, he has an inti and a scout, so you can certainly pause air at that point. He has the inti, the one inti he hopefully will need. And there goes his expanding engineer, and he may actually lose his inti as well without killing the bomber. Yep. Inti survives, bomber survives. And that's great for Tagada. He now needs to find the other engineers in this area, because they are bound to be there. Meanwhile, Espiranto is heading to exactly where he wants to be, which is attacking this mechs, cutting off access to this expansion, and then units follow behind to kill the engineer that has reached that location. The bomber, looking for more targets, goes to the other side of the map and finds this engineer. And does he does just about manage to kill him. Not the most valuable engineer to go for. Well, actually, now that I think about it, this engineer would have probably continued on to this expansion. Espiranto is walking to now the 4 mechs is directly adjacent to the main base of Tagada, and is killing them all with his ACU. He's now gone quite far from the water. What is Tagada's response? He's now going to walk. Okay, he's going to seesaw. He's going to go, you're putting pressure here. I'll keep putting more pressure here, thinking that perhaps trying to move back through the middle of the map, which would be his other option, is not going to work, he guesses. Needs to do his own damage in return, but well, we'll see if that works out for him. Looks like a bad approach from Tagada here leaves him with no damage. Oh. Yeah. That was 4v4 and 2 Mantis came out alive there. Yeah, Tagada is just defending here. He's in full defense mode, wants to just hold back the AC. What he needs is artillery. Tanks are good for sure, but some Zuis would not go astray at all. They can sit right behind the PD and attack the ACU from out there. They can attack Medusa that might want to take out the PD. Tagada needs to be aware of this run by, but I don't think it's a good idea from... This is most of his forward army, or about half of it. And it's all going to get caught out by Tagada and killed. So that is a big loss for Espiranto. That was a very bad move. It just cost him units. And did nothing for him, really. Now we have quite a lot of Mantis leaving the base right now. Things are about to go quite badly for Tagada. I mean, look at all these units, and there's really nothing to stop them. I feel like Tagada has so many fewer units. 75 Mantis, 44 Thams. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to go against all of these units. The expansion will die. One PD won't save it. Units can simply come into this position and kill everything from the left. Reinforcements being sent out of the base. Actually, well, that's a nice bomber going to catch this engineer, but why did he leave? Why did Espiranto leave this position? He could have stayed here. Actually, Tagada is also leaving. He was in a more precarious position, I would say, given that he has less units on the map, but he is also leaving. But Espiranto really only just fell back. Tagada is retreating all the way back. There's nowhere else to go but back to his base here. Espiranto can, for free, reclaim all of his expansions. And this looks so bad for Tagada now. He's down to 19 mass per tick. 19 versus 43. There's no way that this ends well for Tagada. Well, it looks like he will be able to defend here at least. He seems to have quite a decent number of tanks now. Well, you're up to 80. Well, versus 100 now. And Espiranto has retreated only temporarily. He's making the gun now with a lot of assistance. I don't know. That's a crazy minus 1400 mass bar or energy bar. Don't know why he wouldn't pause air or something, you know. There we go. He's paused air, but he hasn't paused the engineers building air, so now they're paused. ACU is on maybe 60%. Tagada should know that now there's a gun coming. Will he have any? No, he's not going to have any tech because he just simply can't afford to make a T2 factory. Which means he's not going to have any T2 PD to defend against this gun ACU. Which means it's going to be really difficult to defend against this ACU. His own ACU will not have an upgrade and is not going to be in the base either. And the rest of what he has is just THAMs, so 83 THAMs. There's 108 Mantis and a gun ACU. There he is, finished. And he's gonna head towards the base. He should have some Medusa would be nice in his army for sure, obviously. Looks like he's starting to mix those in slowly. This factory is the designated artillery production facility. Tagada has grabbed a corner. I think probably in this scenario I would not build anything in the expansion except mexes, because he's in such a terrible position. Investing in defending here is not worth it. You just have to hope that the opponent doesn't attack there. I mean, you can't afford this factory PD. This is 500 mass, and then when you start producing, it's over 500 mass, and then when you start producing out of the factory, it's even more than that. So just take the sides, take the mexes, and hope he doesn't attack, because at this point you need to take advantage of opponent mistakes to win. You need all your defenses to stop this gun ACU. You can see now minus 33 mass, minus 60 mass as he tries to make T2 land so that he can get T2 PDs up. And of course all the mass is going into T2 land factory, leaving very well none left over for the actual PDs that he needs. We'll see if he gets one PD up. Could be interesting. Also, Espiranto is really taking his time here, building T1 mexes with the gun ACU. Doesn't seem fast enough at all. But Tagada, I don't know. He has no plan really, does he? It seems strange. His plan is just to defend, but he has no economy. He has no map control. He needs to be. Well, yeah. This is what he needs. Some of this. He could land a drop here and kill this expansion. He could land a drop here, kill this expansion. Then at least it would be vaguely similar in terms of generated mass for a moment. Could drop here. I feel like drops is really the only potential damage he has available to him right now. And actually he flew very close to the army and has been spotted. Looks like he actually is gonna save the... Oh no! Espiranto sends 2 inties to finish off that transport. Nice move there. Very nice move. PD, there isn't one. There's still no PD, and now the one that he's invested in is getting killed by the gun ACU. The engineers slowly turn around, and that one actually escapes. That's pretty big for Tagada. Keep that guy alive. They're not cheap. 130 mass for that NG. trying to get the gun himself, but he's only halfway, and again, just massive stalls as he does not have the economy, does not have the map control to produce from his factories. This army is far too small to deal with all these Mantis, and one Ilshi is not going to make enough of a difference, especially once the Mantis have already killed half the army that was here. We also have no radar. I feel like the only possible thing is some shift G onto the commander of Espiranto. That's really his options now. That's it. And Esperanto's leaving. He's retreating. Probably feels like this should be unlosable at this point, and he's probably right. He has nearly 200 Mantis and nearly 100 Medusa. Like, how could Tagada ever stop that with just 80 Thams and a few Ilshis? Does have the gun now for himself, but that's probably why Espiranto has vacated the front line. Doesn't want to get caught by a gun ACU and some units. Tagada now just trying to bait in as many units as he can, try and get good trades. Every fight has to be a good trade for him. It has to be a very good trade for him because, of course, he's has about half as many units as Espiranto. Espiranto now pushing in after this ACU. Probably shouldn't continue pushing in as this ACU has PDs to defend him. Doesn't have any T2 PDs, unfortunately, but he has some T1 PDs to retreat to. The Medusa are doing fantastic work. Look at this damage. They're really making the difference. But the Ilshis are, of course, doing well as well. Ganesius battle it out. Seraphim versus Espiranto. It's a bit crazy to be engaged in this gun AC warfare when you have so much more map control. It just seems dangerous and unnecessary, but Espiranto is confident that he's not going to suicide his ACU. And now we have a big air fight, and I can't tell who's winning it. Actually, Tagada completely messes up the micro. He goes idle, and he's going to lose air for that. It may have been quite even, or even in his favor beforehand, but he's lost air, and Espiranto now pushing in, killing T1 PDs. ACU is very close to that extremely volatile energy storage. She's going down to Espiranto T1. And there's no units left in the base. One Ilshi, which is not really shooting. What the hell? Why is it shooting like that? Well. Oh, energy storage is going to do mad damage. Ow. That hurt. And Tagada is about to go down. And he's not happy about it. Didn't see anyone try base trade on this map. I didn't see anyone either. Not in this game. Well, you gotta say it's a good initial move from Espiranto to just head straight to this location. I mean, good in the sense that it worked this time. Tagada, well, I guess he's less experienced, so when people do something a bit different, maybe he doesn't have the greatest reaction. So He saw this ACU very late. He's already committed to his ACU being on this side. He didn't seem to... He had already taken so much damage here. By the time he's making reactions on the left, it's almost too late. As he's like, okay, well I better do some damage here. But I mean, by the time he's attacking here, Espiranto is attacking here, which is obviously a lot more damage. And Tagada was just behind for the whole game as a result. Less mass, less units, and really no chance to come back. He didn't try anything particularly interesting. He just sort of played normally from behind and, well, from quite far behind, I would say. So, yeah, well played Espiranto, and he goes into the next round. 2-1 versus Tagada. So, well played. Tagada has to beat Keyser once again if he wants to get through. Look at this amount of factories though. Big spam. Big ass spam. How many units do we have at the end? Oh, not as many as we did have. 154 Medusa though. Looks like he switched to full Medusa at some point. Well, there we go. That's the best of 3 for today. From the group stage. This might be the last group stage game, I'm not sure, that I cast. If you want to see Group D games, go check out Nartec. And I may be doing some, I don't know, some analysis of my own games in this tournament at some point. And yeah, that's it for now. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. See ya.